To be or not to be? That is the question. It's like they're getting blinded by this dramatic lighting that I was going for. Hello Year 6. Welcome to today's English lesson. Now, in English, we are going to be starting a new unit of work. Okay, so last few weeks we've looked at hybrid text, particularly focusing on the ancient Egyptians as part of our Walk Like an Egyptian topic. Now we are still looking at Egyptians and other things, but in English we're changing a little bit. And we instead are going to be looking at a guy called William Shakespeare, who you may or may not know much about. Now today's lesson, just to get us started, is we're going to try and find out a bit more about William Shakespeare. So to do that, during this video there'll be different points to stop, do a little bit of work, and then press play and then do a bit more work. And then at the end of it, you will go off and do the biggest task on your own. But for now, let's get into my screen so I can show you what we are doing. Hello, welcome to my screen. So Year 6, we are looking at using notes to collect information, and we are focusing on William Shakespeare. So my first question is, straight into it, make sure you got the date and learn objective in your books. First question is, things I already know about William Shakespeare. So I want you to write that as a subheading. And then underneath it, I just want you to write down anything you know about William Shakespeare, okay? And it might be some stuff, it might be you might know a little bit about him, you might not know much about him at all. Now, we are writing in note form, so let's imagine, now none of this information is going to be true, okay? But let's imagine that I know he's born in 1993, okay? I don't need to write, William Shakespeare was born voting, that's not right, born in 1993, that's not right, okay, but I'm just giving you an example, full stop. Now we're writing in notes, so we don't need to do any of that. All we need to write really is, born in 1993. Let's say that I know that he grew up in St Helens, Merseyside. So I could write, the young man grew up in St Helens, which is a beautiful town in the northwest of England. Okay, I'm writing notes. Am I going to do all of that? No, I'm just going to say grew up in St Helens, northwest England. Okay, so just write down the things that you already know. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask you to pause the video and write down as much as you can that you already know about William Shakespeare. So, pause. Hopefully you've pressed unpause, and now we can move on to our next bullet point, which is this. Things I want to find out about William Shakespeare. So if you know a little bit, what other key facts would you like to know about him? If you don't know anything about him, then what could we find out about him? So we could say things like, and again, I can use bullet points to do this. What is he famous for? Okay, so some of us might not have a clue about that. We might have things like, we might know a little bit, so then we might ask some more questions about that. We might say, where was he from? When did he live? Okay, and any other questions that you think you might like to find out about William Shakespeare. So again, pause the screen, and then underneath that subheading, things I want to find out about William Shakespeare, write some things. Pause now. And finally, this is the section that's only going to be a minute or two long, and then you're going to finish the video and crack on with your work. So far, hopefully, we've got a subheading, things I already know about William Shakespeare, with a few things. Things I want to find out about William Shakespeare, with a few questions. And finally, the last subheading, things I now know about William Shakespeare. Because what you're going to do now is you are going to go to the document, which looks like this. And it says, if you've not watched the video, then do that, you're doing it. Find out about William Shakespeare, and then you've got 4 links to go to. So the top 2 are websites. Go a bit closer, the bottom 2 are videos. And what you're going to do as you read these websites and as you watch the videos, you are going to add some bullet points to this thing about things that I now know about William Shakespeare. So by the end of this lesson, you will hopefully know quite a lot more about him. And then as we learn about some of his work and look at some of his stories, you'll have a better understanding of who he is. He's a very, very famous man. Okay, so year 6, work hard, follow those links, and get to the websites and the videos to find some information about William Shakespeare. Okay, again, we should be looking for each Ferrings lesson to last about 45 minutes or so. This video has not been overly long, so could spend a good 25 minutes, half an hour trying to get as much information as possible. Okay, goodbye, year 6.